So today we're out with Carl doing a little bit more plein air. And I brought my watercolors, but I think the next stop I'm gonna try to stay down and do some watercolors. I think right now I'm gonna watch Carl so he can inspire me with his awesomeness. Well, you know, I appreciate you a lot, Carl, because you're always inspiring me in one way or the other.
Well, likewise. I mean, you do the same for me. Like just showing me the beautiful watercolors that you've been working on. The nice little series you got going is fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. I mean,
I think artists feed off each other. You know, we all do. You
yeah.
know, I mean, even now, I love to go and look at the old masters and see how different people paint. You know.
Oh, of course.
I really enjoy, you know, looking at different, the way people do it differently, you know, because we all do things differently.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's nowadays with social media and the internet and everything, I think we can find inspiration from a lot of artists like really quickly. Unfortunately, I think to me more of the inspiration is easier for me to have when I'm like right now, like when I'm sitting here being around you and other artists in person, seeing your art in person. It's just, there's no beating that. Internet can't ever give you that.
Right.
I wish Brian was able to come. Maybe next time.
Yeah, where was he going? Was he going out of town?
He just had some things come up, and he had to do some special errands to get some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to this spot before?
Many times. I haven't did any painting here. I've done a lot of pastels and pencil sketches.
Yeah.
Because I can't carry my equipment out here. I don't have a vehicle right now. So I take my backpack and my sketch pad, and I've done a lot of pastels here. I think it's a great spot. What I like about it, it's got the woods, but yet you can see through into the distance of the cattails and
Yeah.
the distant tree line. You know, so it's kind of a nice little area, and like I say, every time I come out here, I see new things.
Well, it's nice to be able to be close enough where seasonally you're able to like catch a lot of the colors and things like that.
Oh yeah, that's really nice. It's great to return to the same spot, you know, a lot. You know, just to see how it changes so much.
Right. And hopefully these videos get you guys out there and in painting. I've actually have already inspired a couple people who are non-artists who really enjoy, you know, seeing what the artists are doing and feel inspired just to be creative. And I said, why not? Everybody has a right to be creative. I mean, obviously, fine artist work comes with skills, just like being a doctor or a lawyer. We practice for many, many years, learning and refining our techniques in different mediums. But I love all people to be creative. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me, guys, watching different artists begin paintings and how they lay in their background and lay in all the elements of their composition and then start building on top of that. I can't say there's any right or wrong way, would you say?
That's the really interesting thing, because I was looking at a lot of different YouTubes, and there's a lot of artists that have like their own kind of set formula. They put in the darks first, or they draw it out first. Now, very seldom, this is one of the first times you saw me actually, because I usually don't do that. But with this piece, I wanted to do it because I really wanted to get the distance where I needed it to be, and I wanted to make sure it was accurate, you know, for me, where I wanted it to be.
Right.
But there is no right and there's no wrong way, and what works for some people, you know, maybe not for another. But one of the things that I've noticed is that every painting I do, I start or do it, I approach it differently depending on what it is. I don't have like a formula like, oh, step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. I don't have that, you know.
And where did you go to art school?
The American Academy of Art.
Yeah. It was funny because Mark had talked about, and even Brian, you know, when we were talking, they said, you know, the thing about art school is once you're out on your own, you have to almost reprogram yourself. Not to say art school is bad, it's just that, you know, in art school you really have to pay attention to the fundamentals of things. You're learning a lot of things, both, you know, art history, color theory, composition, you know, and they're throwing a lot of techniques and things out at you. But when you go out on your own, it's like you have to unlearn what you've learned, because it's not so practical in real life.
Right.
But you then gain the skills. Obviously, you know how to work with watercolors, or
you know,
oil
fundamentals.
paints.
You
Yeah.
need to go to school. You learn how to draw, and you learn composition and all these things that we all need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, then you really got to kind of explore on your own. You really do. Because,
Yeah.
you know, there's no art school that's going to make you a great painter.
No.
You know, it's just that's just not. A lot of people think, well, just because I go to the most prestigious school, I'm going to be the best at this or that, and that's really not true.
Well, we talked about it a bunch of times. You know, anybody can be a very good technical painter or photographer, or, you know, anything creative. I mean, you can learn the technical aspects of how to do anything. But just like being a doctor or a carpenter or a, you know, whatever, you go to school to learn specifics about a field that you feel passionate about. And I think for artists, the passion is what drives us to continue to create and find inspiration with the world around us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, it's definitely something that I've been trying to continue to help people with, in terms of not just artists but also collectors, because a lot of upcoming collectors, they want to collect art but they're not really sure how to go about it, or what are they looking for. And I'm always the first and foremost one to say, I want you to find something that you love, because if you don't love it, then all the money in the world isn't who cares? You should be enjoying it every day. It should be hanging in your home. You can pass it on to your children. It's something that moves you.
And it's interesting too, as I have grown through the years, there were some things that when I was naive and I didn't really know that much. I would look at some art and I didn't get it, and I was, so my first instinct was, oh, it's crap. But now, later on, I look at things and say, wow, that's really great art.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't educated enough in the arts.
Right.
I didn't study it enough I didn't see enough of it. You need
Right.
to really, you need to see a lot of art to realize what is really good and what is not so good, or what you like and what you dislike.
Yeah, that is, you hit the nail on the head with that one. And that's really what it's all about. I want my art to be collected by people who love it, not just because they think when I'm dead and gone it's going to be worth billions of dollars,
Mm-hmm.
which, for them, I hope it is at that point, because I put my heart and my soul into my work, and it's my whole life. It's not a hobby, and not that hobbies are bad. I'm just saying this is my passion. This is what I was born to do.
And just like me, I enjoy this so much, and more than anything, really, I just feel so free and able to express myself and be creative. That's a wonderful place to be.
Sorry for the jerk in the video. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a look of what we're looking at here. I could tell you, I wouldn't be angry to have this as my backyard.
Well, the nice thing is that there are places that people can go, and even if you live in the city, there's a lot of parks, and that have trees and different places, and there's a lot of forest preserves that are close to the city of Chicago, which is great,
Yeah.
Um,
Outside of passion, Carl, what would you say? And I don't even know that this is an actual, that there's an answer to this question. But outside of passion, what do you think makes an artist an artist?
I think that artists are, first of all, I think they're born with a certain sensitivity to life and nature, and I think we have a big hearts. We're filled with love. We have a lot of love inside of us, and a desire to express the beauty that we see around us, whatever it is. We're attuned to it. We're sensitive. We're sensitive people.
Yeah, that's true. It
You
is
know, I
true.
mean, maybe more than other people, because a lot of people are, you know, they're not sensitive, or they're not aware of some of the beauty that's around them. There's a lot of people, you could say, was it rainy or sunny yesterday? You know, they couldn't remember.
Right.
They're so busy with their daily lives, and they could care less. And it's a shame, but that's
Well, I mean, I think that's a really great response because I think that's completely true. You know, I really can't imagine not creating on a daily basis. I mean, it's not, it's not even a, oh, I'm gonna paint. It's a need. I have to.
well. I always said to people when they ask, and it's basically been my medicine all my life.
Yes.
Because, and I don't have to paint every single day, and because of life's responsibilities, we can't, unfortunately, paint every day. But what was I? I'm trying to think my focus with
It is therapy. I think it saves my life every day. You know, I don't really, I don't care if it sells or it doesn't. You know,
Well,
I'm happy obviously that people do collect it, but at the same point, I'm not begging for somebody to. You know what I mean? Like I'm not pushing it on to anybody because to me, my art belongs to the person who loves it as much as I do. Wouldn't you agree?
yeah, and like going back to my other thought, you know, like I said, it's my medicine, and I can go for a period of time without it, but I don't feel well if I'm away from it too long, because it's just a very spiritual thing for me.
Yeah,
It calms me. It puts me in tune with the universe. You know.
absolutely.
Mhm. So,
So do you like painting outside more now than you used to?
no, I would say that I always enjoyed painting
Oh,
outside.
have you?
Yeah, I always did.
Well, I always felt like we were always in the studio. So,
Well, you have different times in your life where, uh, you know, like when I was in the city and working in the studio, I enjoyed that, but I didn't have the opportunity to get out
yeah.
as much. Um, as much as I do now. Yeah, I think we're going to leave it at that for now. Bye. Anyway. How like the light didn't bother Brian, you know, remember in the last one we did?
Yeah, the
You were
shadows.
asking about that? And it didn't bother him because you know why? He's a professional artist.
Right.
Now, I did something about a year ago, which I wasn't thinking, and I did a painting in the driveway where I'm at, you know, in this direct sunlight. And I thought, wow, I had the colors so beautiful and so great. And then when I brought it inside, it was just, I was so dark. But it looked so light when I was
Outside.
out there. But yeah, I brought it in and it was just so dark. Now, it wasn't a bad thing actually, you know, but it wasn't what my intention was. You get what I'm saying? The painting
Right.
turned out good. It was just done in a different scale, or what would you call it? Kind of like a musical thing.
Yeah,
It
grayscale.
was a different kind of a thing like that. So it's like anything else, you know.
Well, Carl, we're going to leave it at this, and I love the start of your painting here. I always try to end things with a tip for artists, and hopefully that'll send them on their way to doing their own great things. Do you have any tips you'd like to add to the end of this video?
Really, no, the only tip I would have would be to try to get out and enjoy nature, and that's about it, really.
Let it inspire you, right, Carl?
Yeah, let it inspire you. It's really a great experience.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe, and share with all your artist friends. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing you and talking to you again in the next video. All right, thanks. Bye.